Hi, my name is Connor Dalrymple, and I'm excited today to be going over my senior capstone project where I designed a trail running shoe using the brand Newton. So to start off, I was born and raised in Colorado Springs with two parents who love the outdoors. As you can see, me and my dad backpacking at a young age, and then later in California when I was in high school. And I've also loved drawing shoes, as you can see from my Nike Freebolt design when I was younger, and this stemmed from customizing shoes on the Nike website. I've always loved shoes because of the story that they tell about a person and the places they've been. I graduated in the year of 2020 during the COVID pandemic, and this virus forced many of us indoors, leading us to binge watching Netflix, Fox News, or playing video games. And this influenced our need to get in the outdoors when restrictions eased up. And with that, the restrictions easing up, there was a 16% increase in trail running after the year 2020 as people sought rejuvenation in the great outdoors. And because this large rise in trail running, the most common issue or complaint is fit and comfort, because this is which directly impacts the runner's performance. And as everyone has a differently shaped foot, this becomes a very prevalent issue amongst the trail running community. The most common solution to fix this problem is various lacing techniques, as 80% of hikers have transitioned from trail running shoes instead of hiking boots. These various lacing techniques are used to customize the fit of the trail running shoes. This aims to alleviate pressure, the pain points on the foot, to enhance the overall comfort and stability of the shoe. And as you can see from the far right image, this user laced around the top section of the foot because they have a high arch. Before I go deeper into my final design and research, I want to go over some key terms that I'll be speaking about today, such as the tongue, the upper, the toe cap, the outsole, which is the part of the shoe that touches the ground, which is very important for trail running shoes. Also, the midsole is very important as it is most cushion. That's the section that has most cushion for the foot, and also the heel counter. The inside of the shoe is called the medial, and the outside is called the lateral. I then wanted to look at the journey of the trail runner so I could find different design opportunities. Starting off with the user putting on the shoe. Before I even did this capstone project, I fell victim to this, where when I would put on my trail running shoes, I would tighten it really tight because I thought I needed to have a shoe that provided a lot of stability. But when you tighten the shoe too tight, it cuts off the blood flow, as there are many veins at the top of the foot, which causes the foot to later swell about 18 minutes or 2 miles into the hike. And this is a very uncomfortable experience for the user. Lastly, a lot of trail running shoes are very narrow, which actually goes against the anatomy of our feet, as our toes want to more spread out. The shoes are causing our toes to overlay, which is changing the structure of our feet, which is not a good thing. So with all these issues in mind, I designed a design brief. So I wanted to design a trail running shoe that uses the brand Newton, that embodies versatility, comfort, and performance. The shoe should provide an adaptable feel for runners overcoming diverse terrains, with an emphasis of durability, lightweight, and lacing adjustability. Through this capstone project presentation, I'll be taking you guys through my research, my ideation, my refinement, my model, and then my final solution. So to start off my research, I wanted to understand the foundation of which this project stands, which is on Newton Running. This brand is For Runners by Runners, a small brand located in Boulder, established in 2007 by Brian Metzler, and they're known for using sustainable materials and also their patented midsole, which is called action-reaction technology, which creates a responsive trampoline-like cushioning system that provides a quicker bounce back for the user, and they use less energy. Newton is known for their running shoes, so they don't have any trail running shoes, and so this was the gap in the marketplace that I was aiming for my shoe design to fulfill. And so looking at the different categories of these running shoes that Newton sells, many of their designs feature Newton's patented midsole, and they have specific shoes for training, racing, and fitness. A lot of their uppers have the similar design language, as they have the logo on the lateral side, and they're also known for using complex meshes, focusing on breathability. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the industry feedback that helped influence my project. My final shoe design would not be where it's at without their help. And so I was able to have my work reviewed, sketched over, and then sent back with additional feedback regarding design suggestions. So I just want to say thank you to them. I also had the opportunity to interview Brian, which I actually found more about lacing techniques through his blog. So I was able to reach out to him and hop on a phone call and explain to him my project and what I was aiming to design a shoe for. And so he explained to me some of his experiences on the trail, as he has over 1,000 miles covered in the US over backpacking trails. So he mentioned to me how he won't buy a shoe if it doesn't have a widened toe box. He also preferred a zero drop shoe, which is the height from the heel to the toe on the shoe. A lot of running shoes and trail running shoes have a larger drop. And he also liked a shoe that had extra heel support. I also spoke to Laura Tingle, which is the product manager at Newton Running, the brand that I was designing my shoe for, and she actually oversaw the footwear designers at the company. And she emphasized the specific materials that Newton uses for their patented midsoles. She explained their marketing strategies and also how the shoe could be designed. She wanted me to find a balance between breathability, water resistance, outsole tread, a tread that will shed mud and provide extra traction, and also a cushion without compromising ground contact capabilities. Then I wanted to narrow down my shoe design for a specific group of people, and this group of people are called the trail conquerors, and they're frequently on the trail around 3 times per week, and they are looking for a shoe that has a lot of fit and comfort, and also one that has style, one that reflects their adventurous spirit and love for the outdoors. And they need a product that is durable, since they're on the trail so much, and also a shoe that is high performance, and then additional ankle support. Looking at my target audience, the trail conquerors, I wanted to find the specific shoes that they're purchasing. And so I did some research on these different shoes that use similar materials, have these complex outsoles, and also different lacing techniques such as BOA. And from there, I made a list of specific trends that are amongst the trail running community. Looking at alternative lacing, as I mentioned, thicker midsoles, a whale tail, which is on the heel counter that allows the foot to slip easier into the shoe, and then also alternative and detaching midsoles. With all my feedback, interviews, and market research, I was able to define my final design guidelines, and these design guidelines are water resistant. I want a shoe that has a widened toe box, has adjustable lacing, adaptable grip, a 4-foot strike, and then extra heel counter support. Lastly, before ideating on paper, I created a mood board for my final shoe design. And a mood board is helpful during the ideation process as a reference when incorporating concepts into reality. Concepts such as organic flowing lines, stability, breathability, rounded shapes, detailed accents, and all of these concepts as a reminder in my next step, which was my initial ideation. During my early ideation, I began incorporating my design guidelines and influence of current trail running trends. I started by sketching a thicker midsole for cushion and stability, while adding similar upper concepts that reflected Newton's branding. And I added an extra heel attachment to the midsole for ankle support. And I explored lacing systems such as BOA Fit, Caterpillar lacing, U-line lacing, but I realized that I wanted to design a new lacing concept that could reinvent the experience for trail running shoes specifically. And with my first round of ideation ending with this key lateral sketch here, this concept incorporates a cushion midsole and heel support while redefining the brand of a retro Newton running shoe. And so with the lateral design narrowed down, I needed a lacing system that would relieve the pressure from the top of the runner's foot. So I began by moving the lacing to the side of the shoe, but quickly realized this solution had many flaws, ultimately not solving the issue, but reinforcing the pressure to a different part of the foot. And so I ended with the final lacing concept you can see on the right. And this concept has 2 points of tightening on the shoe, upper and lower, separated by the talus, which is the bone on the top of the foot, which sticks out. And the laces are then looped through additional lacing that is grounded to the midsole, as you can see in the red. And when the user tightens the shoe, the laces pull the foot back into the heel of the shoe instead of typical lacing where the materials on the upper are pulled around the foot, cutting off the blood circulation. And additionally, the laces are intertwined through a nylon mesh, so the points of pressure are equally distributed. The next stage was refinement. During my refinement phase, I narrowed down my lateral shoe concept and also incorporated the new lacing system into the design. And I used the feedback from the footwear designers, and I reviewed my design guidelines and wanted to add more detail to the heel cap. As you can see, that's attached to the heel counter. And so I did this by incorporating the hiking culture in Boulder by placing the topographic lines of the tallest mountain called South Peak. I also added a zipper for water resistance and durability that can be easily unzipped if preferred by the user. I added a whale tail on the heel counter to allow the user to slip on their foot more easily. And then I added an outsole that mimics the foot shape of a great horned sheep, which is adaptable for uphill and downhill trail running. Excuse me. My next step in the process was modeling. My final concept in Gravity Sketch, which is a software that uses virtual reality. I was able to make my final concept and import the sketches and dimensions to the 3D model. And my modeling was broken up into my ideation, my refinement, and my finalization, where I made my final model that I was able to import into Blender. And I use Blender as another modeling software to clean up some of the surfaces and also design the outsole. And so I was able to import my orthographic drawings of my outsole. And I used Blender because it was more technical, and I was able to model it and then attach it to my Gravity Sketch model. I finally needed to decide how to incorporate Newton's branding into the final shoe design and colorway. And I wanted a main colorway that uses colors such as red, white, and black, which resembles Newton's logo. And then additionally, I wanted Newton's shoe to use other branding than the typical N that is placed on the side of the shoe. And so I placed the Newton as an underlay on the lateral side. I wanted to have the word Newton on, as I mentioned, on the lateral because this would help distinguish the trail running shoes from Newton's running shoes. And I also wanted the shoe to be recognizable by Newton users. I also added the topographic lines on the injected EVA heel counter, and I wanted to use lightweight materials that allow airflow to the rest of the shoe while still using Newton's patented midsole materials into the final design. So allow me to present to you the Boulder, a trail running shoe designed to conquer the rugged terrain of the Rocky Mountains and beyond, tailored for trail runners that value durability, lightweight construction, and adaptable grip. The Boulder trail running shoe is lightweight and still incorporates durable materials for the rough terrain of the Rocky Mountains. It is recognizable within the trail running community, which reflects the user's adventurous spirit and love for the outdoors. The user can adjust the lacing easily by unzipping the upper, as you can see the zipper on the top of the shoe. Looking at the side profile or lateral view of the shoe, it expresses speed as the lines flow from the front of the shoe to the back, and this shoe resembles Newton's retro upper design, while being distinguished by the red laces that can be seen underneath the opaque Gore-Tex nylon. Looking underneath the upper, where the lacing is, the laces are looped through the nylon mesh to the additional laces in the midsole, and the foot is pulled back into the shoe, providing more support and comfort. The adjustable lacing can be tightened using lock laces, which reduces the manufacturing cost while still having a reliable lacing system that the user can adjust. And while on the trail, when their foot begins to swell, the lock laces allow marginal allowance for the foot so that when it begins to swell, it adapts to that, relieving less pressure to the blood vessels. The upper is then broken up into two main components, while the midsole and the outsole are 6 different complex parts that make up the final design. And these components incorporate a widened toe box, a carbon shank plate with an injected EVA heel attachment, all allowing the user to have a 4-foot strike, which is the DNA of the brand Newton. The Boulder shoe has grip on the forefoot that utilizes the rocky terrain and provides attraction for users in technical hikes. The Boulder shoe can be distinguished by the bright red logo on the bottom of the shoe. As the runners are on the trail, others would be able to notice it. And as the seasons change, so does the color palette. This color palette reflects the darker hues of Newton's signature style. The black colorway in the midsole grounds the shoe, while the white topographic lines of the South Peak draw the attention of their users. This is the textured heel cup that attaches to the heel without affecting the comfort of the foot, and additionally, the red laces can be seen underneath the opaque mesh. While looking at the medial side of the shoe, the black Newton logo draws the viewers into the design and to the red zipper attachment on the upper. And while Newton is known for having random Easter egg drops throughout the year, this colorway reflects the bright colors that Newton uses for their spring drops. And so this colorway would be limited edition and more available to in-store purchases at the Boulder shop. In order for the shoe to be actually manufactured, a tech pack of orthographic views needs to be created. And so I created this tech pack that uses these bright colors, which is not a colorway, but rather called a clown layer, which helps describes the materials for the manufacturer to distinguish between the surfaces and materials. Details such as the logos being attached by polyurethane heat transfer vinyls, as well as the intended drop date for the spring of 2025. In recap, the Boulder trail running shoe opens a whole new market for Newton that reaches a larger target audience. And it also allows Newton to market their brand and stay relevant amongst their competitors while still using sustainable materials. The Boulder shoe also makes a difference for the user by incorporating a new lacing system that promotes blood circulation while on the trail, additionally a widened toe box that helps the anatomy of their feet, and materials that foster a lightweight shoe that is water resistant and provides extra heel stability while on the trail. My mission through this project was not to just design another trail running shoe, but rather redefine the trail running experience, setting a new standard of comfort, performance, and style amongst the trail running industry. Thank you guys for joining my senior capstone project, and I hope you learned something new today. Thank you.